Hi, nice to see you, Carmen, again. Nice to see you all. We are back here 1 week, one Monday. It's really nice
with you. Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you here and also to have our audience again. Thank you so much, Inkilos. You're always our big fan. You're always there. I'm really happy to count on you. But I know because you are here because we have an amazing guest. But just a few seconds, we have to introduce each other. So, Carmen, who are you?
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Carmen Junquera, also known as Carmeline. I'm a host and caster here in Esports, specialized in League of Legends and Wild Rift.
And I have to say that she's a brilliant caster, and I myself, I am Yasmina. I'm an intellectual property lawyer, but of course, you don't want to hear about law and these kind of things. We are here with an amazing guest. So, welcome, Karina. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, I think you don't have your screen.
No, I do.
Your
I do.
camera,
I see.
you mean?
Yes, your camera.
No,
Yeah,
for me everything.
Oh, okay. Let's try this again. I'm gonna maybe give me a second. No, we're supposed. I don't know why, but we can't see you. Can you check in your settings if everything is like selected? Just in case.
Okay, she can see us, but these kind of things happen. If the audience is watching, they can tell us if she watched her, just to be sure. You can see it, Carmen, or
I can't see her right now.
You can see
it'll
it.
Be soft. No, I can't.
I can't.
I can't.
Don't worry, these kind of things happened. Okay. Oh no, because she's amazing. Come on, you have to see her. She's a really beautiful girl, I have to say. I know that we are not so close, Karina, but I hope you allow me to say that.
Oh, that's all right. But can you hear me?
Yes, at least we can hear you.
Wait, I can stop the cam and try it again, because I can see me and I can see you guys.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe you did not put me through.
Inkilis is saying, Inkilis, we can hear. Okay, you can hear her, but you cannot. Okay, Karina, I'm gonna do something. How about you it's not called update, F5, and try to enter the chat again and see if that fixes it. Sometimes it's a little bit weird and okay.
Yeah. So sorry guys for this, but it's okay because we have an amazing guest today. So how are you, Carmen? How are you?
I'm doing. It's been hectic, but I think I'm alive, which means that I'm here.
Love your spirit.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of crazy for me, and this next week is even crazier. I'm casting multiple tournaments. Let's see. There we go.
Wow, we can see you perfect.
Hi, everyone. Sorry. I mean, I don't know. I could see everything, but technical issues, hiccups happen, so it's okay. I'm happy to be here.
This is more excited. It's more excited to have you here. So because I think the camera couldn't hand you your beauty, so I got to say that. It's Monday. We deserve this kind of compliments to start the week. Sorry, I'm so nervous right now. So for those who doesn't know Karina, she's an amazing health industry in the sector. She has a lot of years experience, but of course we would love if you can introduce yourself a little bit, what you would like the people to know about you.
Sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Karina. I come from a small country called Lithuania. It's actually funny because Carmen is working with Baltics Masters. So, here's the connection. Professionally, I'm a journalist. That's where I have my professional background in. And for the last 9 years, I've been living in Germany. And for almost last 8 years, I've been making my career here in esports, trying to implement everything that I've learned. And most recently, for 4.5 years, after some work that I've done with Fnatic and the German company Fix4U Gaming, I've been working as head of content at G2 Esports. And I believe we've done a lot of incredible things. And most recently, just a bit over a month, I've been basically embracing my new adventure. And I just recently, last Friday, announced that I decided not to commit to one company at this time, and I'll be doing some interim work with a couple very special brands. And later, in some months, I hopefully will be able to launch and present a company that I'm working on founding with a couple of trusted partners. So that's it, but I hope I can answer more of the questions to give a little bit more insights as we talk.
That's pretty excited, and thank you so much, because I think also we will focus on your new profile, your new career path, because it's going to be, and of course you have to sell yourself, and I hope the audience catch all the attention and look at you later in the LinkedIn and Twitters, because she's a great professional and we always bring the best of the best here in Esports
Yep.
Business Life.
Thank you.
So I start with the questions, because I want to ask you, how did it happen you became interested in the esports industry, and what was your first experience within the field?
So back in the days when I moved to Germany, I was actually living in Cologne, and at the time that was the place of LCS that later was renamed to LEC Broadcast. And I just got in touch with some people who were back in the days working on broadcast, and became curious because I had no clue what they were talking about. They were like speaking about all these champions and spells, and I'm a very curious person. So I was like, oh wow, this big thing is going on just right next to me. So I became interested, started researching a little bit, ended up writing my master's thesis about esports in the mainstream media. So basically connected the two. And eventually, after I defended it, started working in esports. So that was like pretty smooth transition, and bringing, let's say, my passion and interest and the skill set that I had to hopefully, help the esports industry grow and develop. And I guess I've managed to accomplish some of it along the way.
You manage it perfectly. So I would like to ask you if you fall in love with the esports industry at the end.
Well, not in the end, at the beginning. For me, and I tell the same thing to everyone. So, I'm a person who cannot lie, so it's all written on my face. As a journalist, I was always excited to tell the stories and build the narratives. Like, I went into journalism to tell about people, about who they are, to build those emotional connections. And what I found in esports, that it was like the same world, like similar thing that we have in any other industry. And before, I used to work with like known celebrities worldwide and actors and like musicians. And there were so many stories untold, and so many young people so excited and passionate about what they do. So I felt there was like a lot of room to tell like new things. At the same time, like I have to admit, like, I play League of Legends, I play some TFT, I play some Valorant. I'm pretty bad at like first-person shooters. I don't know why. Like when I was a teenager, I was introduced basically by my dad to like Quake and Doom, and like had no fear whatsoever.
Oh my
Like
God.
nowadays I cannot do that. But like when you work in esports, it's tough to find time to play games. I mean, sometimes you play with your friends, but I think I love industry beyond the game element. I like it for what it is. It brought so many good contacts and friends who I love the people, and the industry, like people make the industry, and that's why I feel very whole in it.
That's a beautiful answer, and glad to know that your father introduced you in somehow to Dooms and this
He needed me to kill time while I was waiting for him to finish the work. So I had to play with his colleagues.
Love your father spirit.
What was installed was installed, so you don't choose.
Instead, I wasn't allowed to play Colin McRae because my uncles wouldn't let me. They were like, "Oh no, you can't get close to, the Minerva thing." And I was like, "Okay." Your father allowed you to play Quake. He was like that. Okay. I feel a little bit envious right now.
It didn't make me any better, in anything really. So, like I don't have. I don't know, like for me, games and like in general, like it's a nice way to pass the time. But I'm very competitive and like I have very high standards like in life and for my work, but not for me in game. Like I suck. Like it's whatever. I can play with the friends who can bear with my badness.
High five. High
High
five for
five,
people who are
everyone.
bad at the
Yeah.
game.
Shout out to all bronze players out there. You hold on, people.
Don't.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, the next question is about your time in Fnatic, because before going to over to sports and Freaks for You gaming, you were actually working for another big organization out there, and I wanted to know how your experience was working there, and what were the key takeaways you took away from that experience.
It was actually really fun because that was like, one of my first sort of esports adventures. And it was back in the days where we had, there was still Yellow Star and Febiven and Huni and Rainover. That was like so far ago in the days. And they were really nice guys and the team was cool. I mean, I don't know. It was nice to have that opportunity. I was taking some photos here and there, and I was writing articles for the website. So I don't know. I mean, back in the days, writing was still way more common than making videos. So I think it was curious and like a great opportunity, to meet the people, and then move on from there.
And actually, you passed from there from Freaks for. So, if you can explain a little bit for those who doesn't know what it's this industry, what they do, and what was your role there?
It Freaks for You.
Yes.
Sorry,
so I even say wrong. Sorry.
No. It's a very big German company. They're very successful right now. They're doing a lot of TV or like digital broadcasts for different games. Well, I had like a very complicated role there. First, I think I joined as one of the editors. So basically, to a bigger portion, we've been like writing articles, and there was like a client or like partner roster there. And eventually, we started doing the thing that you now know as LEC interviews or like LCS interviews. And they were, they're still running the place called Summoners Inn, which essentially is German broadcast for League of Legends. So we've been doing interviews, and I've been doing also on-camera interviews for Summoners Inn. We had some different partners, including like Sport1, Red Bull. We've been working some with like the Score Esports, covering different tournaments for them, providing some content. Basically, we were like an editorial team servicing different partners. It was very, very exciting. We also traveled quite a bit. Like we went to DreamHack Winter. There was a tournament that Freaks for You organized in Kuala Lumpur, actually, in Malaysia, for ROG Masters. I think it was Dota. Covered Dota Major in Frankfurt 2015. We went to like All Stars in Barcelona.
Oh, great!
There's been a lot going on. Like IOM Katowice, like all those events. It was very, very exciting, and we had like a very nice and fun team there.
That's so great. Actually, I think that Carmen and I, we can say that we envy you for going around, but at the same time, I feel like you learned from those both experience. So, and now actually we will pass for G2, I think. Or you have any other question, Carmen?
No, actually, I would like to go to G2 because Fnatic fun experience, Freaks for You, lots of traveling, lots of on-camera experiences. But then you move over to this other team with that completely different brand, let's say, in comparison to the ones you've been in before. And I wanted to ask you again, how was the experience before getting into deeper dive into it? Just on the surface, how was your experience altogether overall, and what did you take away from it?
In G2?
Yeah.
In general. Oh, in G2, sorry.
Yeah.
G2 was it's true, there was a very different challenge because if before we were doing something sort of as we went, of course I was building together with others the team at Freaks for You, and we've been growing it throughout the time, like the 18 months I was there. But in G2, when I joined, it was 2017. So it was very different from what we know today. And I mean, the team was super small. Carlos was there. You know, it was, you know, very, very the beginning of what we have become. So the role was a lot about building and together with Carlos and everyone else, like sort of bringing that vision and creating the brand character to a big extent to what it is today. And of course, now after I left, there's like a lot of talented people and my beautiful, talented team who continue the work. So, I mean, I left on the great terms. I'm probably always going to be a fan. I really am very proud of the time that we had together and what we've built and what we created. And I think that, you know, we've set the mark for content production, but also like to many brand related things through my time there, which obviously is in no way my sole achievement. Like I would never have been able to do it without all the people and resources we have there. But it's been super rewarding. And I think it was also one of the places where I sort of leveled up my leadership and management skills as well, because like through the years we have grown the team, the responsibilities have grown, the resources, the budgets have grown, the ambition. You know, if we were ever to imagine the budgets and the sizes of crews and videos that we were shooting, let's say last year, back in 2017, it would have been like, people would say, you're nuts. No one spends that much time and effort on content. So just the whole journey and the amount of growth throughout the years, I think that's probably the most rewarding, and ability, you know, to have the trust, to have the possibility to hire good people, them being attracted to what we are, you know, like even the general G2 perception, like now people know, even in North America, who G2 is or like what they stand for. And when I joined it, like, you know, there was not that much of like amazing track record. There was some jokes that were sort of like, you know, let's say underutilized, that later became into legendary memes. But I mean, we've done so many things. Like, you know, I was even, when I announced my departure, there was like this little collage that I posted, and there's like a bunch of things with like different team members and so many players, and Carlos with his makeup as a clown. I'm terrible at drawing. This is actually really funny but I was the person painting his face because it was supposed to be bad. so you know, like it's been I don't know, it's been very close to my heart, and I was always saying, you know, it's more of more than just a job. I've been always very invested. So I don't know, like it's been definitely a very fulfilling experience, and I want them to have success, and ideally I also want to, I don't know, we'll see, maybe challenge them with someone, create some competition. You know, I think it, like, esports and fans, community overall, they truly benefit from all the organizations, all the teams and tournament organizers creating a little bit of spice and rivalry, and bringing in the stories, bringing up just generally like good storytelling, because there are so many things to be unlocked. And I like, you know, I get the ultimate satisfaction in making those type of things happen. So I hope to you know, to contribute to maybe more different brands and teams and organizations eventually with what I'm planning next. So I don't know, it's very exciting. Like, I think it's fair to say that I've always been like a huge fan of G2, especially while I was on G2. But right now I'm also sort of broadening my horizons, and I just want esports to do well, and esports to get exciting for, like, you know, people outside esports or gaming only, like, you know, to bring in more people like you, Yasmina, you know, who are like lawyers, but they may be curious and excited. No, but like, why not? Like,
Yes.
I think it's always about finding something that resonates with people that you don't necessarily have to be good at the games. Like I personally, like, I would never challenge any professional player, of course not. And I probably am not the best in analysis, but I have fun. Like, I love going to events and I love the vibe. It seemed like, sometimes you go to, like, I don't know, theater show or concert, and if you go to a concert, usually you know the band, but like if you go to a theater, maybe you don't know every single actor, but you also go for the performance. So I feel like there's so many elements of esports that can be attractive and then can draw people in, and I just want to be a part of it growing and flourishing.
And we will be really happy if we can see all your path and how you make this industry to grow in somehow with your role. So it'll be really amazing, and I really like what you say before. Like, I feel like esport is quite different from other industry, like the sports traditional ones, because it's true, we actually can be fans of one of more clubs, teams, and that's amazing, and we're beneficial for this competition in somehow. So I hope it continues to grow and see more and what the future holds us.
Definitely.
So now I would like to ask you, because we will wanted to focus a little bit. How was your pathing G2? And later, I will love if you can explain a little bit what is your purpose, your aim. I'm sorry, my English today it's horrible. I think it's Monday, and
You
I feel
guys
like I
picked
have
Mondays for the show.
Yeah, I know.
No, don't worry, it's fine. You just take it easy, all good.
I'll go. The good thing is I feel comfortable with you guys. So now we will focus a little bit about G2, and then later we will talk about, maybe you can tell us a little bit what you are holding or some announcement if you can. If not, don't worry. But I will try my best.
Spoilers perhaps about this year.
Maybe.
But well, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Yasmina, you go.
So first of all, I wanted to know how you end up in G2 team, and what was your role exactly? Because I know you were the head of content, but of course, what do you do? Because if you heard head of content, you feel like there are so much task involved in that role. So a little bit of insight, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, so actually it was a little bit of transformation, like, throughout the course of time. So first, when they joined, actually the job description that G2 was looking for was a content manager. And, when I met Carlos, I said to him, look, you have to give me the head of content title, and I'll give you more than the content manager would. So that was basically, let's say, our deal. And eventually, as the team grew, the things changed. Like, first of all, like, people in the content team were all directly reporting into me. As the teams grew, then we had, like, introduced the manager level. In general, throughout the years, back in the days, like, we didn't really have like a brand or marketing divisions the way they exist today. So a lot of, or like all or most of the marketing efforts were done through content. So we worked with Carlos and other people on that. We always had content team consist up to, let's say, up to the last year, they used to consist from video, social, and design teams. Eventually, social team that also became a distribution or programming team, which basically means that distribution of programming is where do you post what on which channel, when, to have maximum efficiency. So eventually they disconnected because we have grown so big, and we had online events team join in. That was sort of an interim period, and I'm not sure what the structure is today, and maybe there are some changes because this is sort of like ever-evolving process. At some point, I don't think my official title ever changed because I was always head of content, but at some point I was also called head of content and communications, just because I was also overseeing our PR efforts and also like managing let's say, our responses and like interview requests because of my previous knowledge and experience as a journalist. But I also always very closely worked with the social team, Chris, who was my right hand for many years. Yeah, I think he was also a guest in the show.
Yes.
So we worked very closely with him, and eventually he got promoted and took over the social and programming end of things. And I interim was also focused a lot on the video team, because like most of our content, or like most of our most visible content, is video content. And I was also interim leading that team. So I was basically head of department and leading that team because of my knowledge and experience in the video content production. Because I also do act as a producer, or executive producer and director, and I've done or I've covered that role for some of our pieces. But it's also very, let's say, I guess, esports kind of thing, where very often you fill in multiple roles. But it was also something that I felt very passionate about and what I enjoy a lot. And I think working on the videos and being on set was always like part of the things I appreciated the most, alongside traveling to events and like, working on the creative with the team. So it was super exciting. But you asked me, what the role is. So it was like very multi-layered. I think like I also was at some point taking photos, because also something I like. So I basically, yeah, there's still probably, I mean, I haven't been in GT office for a while now, but there used to be a couple of my pictures on the wall, which made me always feel very, very proud. But yeah, I've taken some photos throughout the years. I worked as a producer, because very often we also either had limited budgets, or there were limited amounts of people allowed from the tournament or league organizer perspective. So if you can only send 2 people, we always had to sort of consider who's going to be doing what, and if people can fill multiple roles, that was sort of like, an added value. And yeah, so on top of like, those very practical and hands-on elements, I've been also working on like overall content strategy and like distribution strategy previously, with like together with Chris, and then still together with Chris, but in different capacities. Also, like, all the administrative bits, where approving holiday of the team, performance reviews, hiring people, all like the interview process, because
Oh my God, you did a lot.
but as a team lead, you have to, you have to motivate people. You not only have to work on the day-to-day, but you also need to make sure there's like sustainable environment. And I think that's why for, let's say, last year, or maybe a bit even over the year, I've always tried, like I say, we have extremely talented team, and we had people, like I try to delegate a lot of my, like, I can't say smaller tasks, but like some of like smaller photos or photo shoots or video shoots, I delegated them so that I can spend more time or more effort to enable the people and find the resources we need, or like, additional people or companies to work with or outsource. So I think there's a lot of elements there. I mean, we also worked very closely with the partnerships team, making sure that our content fulfills what our partners want and need, but at the same time also works for our brand. So there's been, I think, a very versatile role, in the sense that there was both managerial and administrative tasks, travel, creative, and like say the people management part as well. So it's been very exciting, and a lot of things to learn as well, because I've managed smaller teams before, but yeah, I mean, you live, you learn, you grow. So it's been a lot, but I wouldn't change a thing. So it was a good experience.
Oh my God, it's amazing all the things you do, because as a producer, I imagine how a lot of work you have to do, because you also have to be really like trying to hold the time with everyone. try to see how to manage. You have a deadline, you have to hold it all together and try to be really empathic with the people you are working on. So, and also you, as you said before, all the roles that you do. And I'm really curious. I know that we are not supposed to ask you this, but I'm really curious how was, for
Ask
example,
away.
because when you were talking about that, you have working with also the team partnerships, and you have to see in a way to try to hold all the situation, like try to do what the brand is looking for, but also trying to manage what your brand also is looking for. How was this kind of discussion? Because I imagine it could be really delicate and you have to be really emphatic and at the same time to hold to say, okay, we can do this, we can do that. It has to be really hard.
Yes, I mean, it one thing there's always to remember is that, it's not just me against the world. So there was always
Yeah.
like, the team, Carlos, partnerships team. So it's like in G2, we during the time I was there, we always had a very like collective and very teamwork approach to like any challenges or tasks that we had. So first, obviously, there would come in like a task or whatever we need to do. Sometimes it would be that we have an idea, then we'll look for partners. Sometimes it's the other way around, that the partner needs or wants a video, or we have a deliverable, and then figuring out how to execute on it. Usually then we would have like some creative brainstorms and try to figure out like 1 or 2 or 3 approaches, and then sort of like run it for internal check, depending on how complex or important that is. Sometimes even Carlos would be involved. What I always sort of been very proud of is that the team that we had was very diverse. And from different backgrounds and from different countries even. So it was always very good to temp check internally. And it's a big team. So usually, if it's not funny, someone would already say like, yeah, guys, maybe it's not the best idea. And we always try to, if we have a good idea, but something is lacking, to work it out together. And then if it's, let's say, a partner piece, we would go back with these like 3 or 2 or couple of ideas and see what they like the best. And sometimes, yes, it maybe would turn into a conversation where we would have to explain why this works better. But I think what we've been quite privileged and what our partnerships team, or G2's partnerships team, was very good at, is that the collaborations we had with partners, they were obviously not accidental. There were people who wanted to benefit from our humor and the ways we do things. So there was a certain level of understanding, or we've educated partners throughout the years. So I think we had a little bit of let's say, ace upon our sleeve, because, there was already that inbuilt trust to an extent. And I think that some of the partners that also partner with other teams have done crazier stuff with us than with the others. So yeah, I think there was like definitely sometimes, everyone's trying to pull the blanket a little bit more to their corner, but in general, it's always about teamwork and communication. So, and that's what we've always tried to have as one of our strengths.
I think you do, and it's amazing. And especially, I have to say that you two have an amazing humor.
It depends what kind of humor you like, but
I think it's more Spanish humor, so I think that's why I love it. But it's amazing how you hold it. So, sorry, Carmen, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so in the same line, I would like to ask you, what campaign are you the proudest of? Like, what campaign or campaigns in plural are the ones that you're like, this is the pinnacle of what I've done here at D2?
I don't
Tough
know, it's
question.
hard. It's really difficult because, especially like, how to say, once we've like announced or like posted the video, there was always like more about like individual videos or campaigns. But like now that I had like a little bit of time to sort of sit back and reflect, I think probably what I'm sort of proud of the most, and I know I'm not answering your question, I'll get back to that, I promise. But what I'm proud the most is actually of how the team has grown and evolved, and the things that I managed to let us do or enable, and like even like personal progress of some people, like this is probably, you know, what makes me feel that I've done something right. In terms of like speaking content pieces, there's a couple which I guess like probably like a stroke an emotional chord here or there. I think Watch Me with Perks, that, you know, turned into I don't know, like gift source for ages, was very exciting. It was one of the first pieces that was done mainly in 3D. I still remember the shoot. It was like he had to wear so many different jerseys. Yeah, so that was fun, but that was like, what was it, like 2018? That was long ago. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed from like our more recent campaigns. It was very exciting. Well, this was not a campaign, but like Welcome Reckless had its own challenges because we had to fly to Sweden with our lead videographer Charles on the short notice, and we had just like a day and a half to organize everything. And we've been both like carrying equipment, and I was a driver, and I mean, there was so many things, and Martin was so open and welcoming. So that was a very interesting experience as well. From like bigger campaigns, definitely like all the collaborations we've done with Ralph Lauren, they've been very exciting because also, you know, they have a bit more of that like elevated luxury feel to it. So that's nice. And also the one we had for the announcement with the Reckless on the horse and Carlos in the vintage BMW. just you know, there was a very short timeline to organize all of these elements, and you know, I just felt very deep satisfaction. It's like, let's get a horse. Okay, we got a horse. Let's get vintage BMW. Okay, we got it. So it's like, oh my god, this is happening. And then we have like 2 hours to shoot everything, and we somehow made it. So there's been like a lot of there was a bit more, but there was two different locations. So it was definitely, how to say, you know, sometimes you feel when you're racing from one location to the other. But I think just those were really special. I think the Sorry Iceland with Jankos was very exciting because it was just such a funny video, like very on brand for G2. And of course, like Carlos with the flute in the end. And you know, the most incredible thing, he can play a flute. Like, I mean, like, what else can you wish for, you know? And I think the other one, like from the videos that is definitely memorable, is the one that won us the Esports Award, the No Clue Adidas announcement. Just because it probably was, back then, today, it was probably one of the biggest, most complicated shoots with the biggest crew. And it was very, very exciting as well, because that was definitely like, you know, connecting the two worlds. But after that, like overall work with Adidas in terms of campaigns, and like even us working for Impossible Is Nothing with our Gozen roster, and having like Adidas athletes participate, like we had this like multi-layered story going on. I don't know, like I think it's more about consistency, even, and like keeping the, let's say, this high standard, or keeping it exciting, rather than, you know, just making one campaign. I think there's like so many things that in general we're proud of, and like there are so many good campaigns, and G2 continues doing it, so congrats to them. But yeah, I mean, this is just to name a few.
Can we actually watch a few videos, or 1 or 2 videos, Yasmina? Do we have them ready to
Yes,
play them?
we have some of them, so I'm going to share with you guys. So please, we are going to go to the YouTube channel of G2, and just to check that everything is noted. So now I'm going to add it. And first of all, I would like to know if the audio works. So please tell me already if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to put it in full screen,
Okay.
so you can see it much better.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. So majestic. best money I've ever spent. Wait. Where are you going? Bro, you're not even writing it.
Okay, so this was such a good example of what you've done at D2. But now I think we would like to move on to your personal career and what you're doing now. So we can start talking about why you decided to leave U2 and what have you chosen to do now. Like, explain a little bit behind what led you to pursue your own personal career.
It's difficult, to explain why. I think, in esports, the years are very intense, and like in general, like I think being in one place close to 5 years, even like in non-esports environment, is a long time.
Mhm.
And I think that sometimes I can't say like we outgrown each other or anything like that, but I feel like I just wanted to try some more things and some different things and maybe some different approaches. And it also felt right because like last year was very successful, and we've won awards and everything was going well, and like I would never feel good if I would leave a place, let's say, I don't know, in a not good position. But the team was fine. They were like strong on their feet. I don't know, it just felt like sometimes you just have this feeling that this is a good time to end this chapter and start a new one. And in general, I had a lot going on in my personal life, just some changes here and there, and it just felt like I can start fresh. I had a lot of inspiring trips and whatnot, so I don't know, maybe I just got enough courage and figured out that maybe it's good to test myself again, because I almost have like this cycle in life now that I think about it, because almost 9 years ago I basically quit my successful journalist career in Lithuania and I moved to Germany to start fresh, and I sort of had to reinvent myself new. But then it all it worked out. It was scary, and it was maybe it didn't make sense, because like why do you leave when everything is working out so well? But I think those moments like truly make you grow as a person and also reevaluate what you've been good at. And there's one thing that I keep telling to everyone like nowadays, like when I think about it, if someone would like offer me like a CEO role when I was 25 or like 20, I'm not 20, 25, I would be way more likely to accept it than I am today, because whichever philosopher in ancient Greece said it, like the more you learn, the more you understand how much you don't know. So the same with me. And I think just staying in that role and growing the team has been very fulfilling. But I also feel like there's still so much more for me to do and to learn, and I still need to gather that experience instead of staying there forever. And I think it's to benefits both sides, because G2 will they just announced the new head of content, so congrats to her. But also it's good for them to have a breeze of fresh air and for me to try something new. I've always been very excited about having ability to work flexibly, or maybe to travel even like a little bit more, not just for the esports events, but I don't know, maybe work from sunny beach in winter or something like that. So I'm hoping that maybe now I can organize this for myself. So I don't know, I just want to try to do the right thing, excited to start, let's say, or co-own the business where I can have a say on how things could be or would be done. And I hope it all works out. I mean, I'm trying to be positive. We'll see in a couple of months or half a year if that was the right thing. But as someone told me, worst case, it's just going to be a try, and then you move on or you do something else. But, those who don't try don't drink champagne. So, and we like champagne.
And we certainly will have to invite you again because you are going to tell us a lot of stories and a lot of experience. I'm sure about it. So let's see 1 year or maybe 6 months. I'm going to put that out because I think you're going to bring
Don't
us
put me under pressure.
sorry. It's 1 year.
No, I'm kidding. You don't.
And we drink champagne in your honor. We will bring it on Monday and we will bring champagne in order to start a great week.
Maybe we do in person one, somewhere with a nice backdrop.
I will love that. Definitely.
I prefer sunset backdrops and palm trees. Those are great.
Come over to Spain. We've got plenty of days. We've got many palm trees, many beautiful
I would love
sunsets.
that. I can fix up my Spanish a little bit.
I actually I will recommend you even because I'm from the Canary Islands. So come with the Canary Island. You can come. My mother works in the Tenerife.
Oh my God, Tenerife is my favorite one. I've been there like already. Two times?
You right now.
No. I love it there. I know the good spots. I've sang karaoke on Tenerife. I always had like this joke where, well, not a joke. I mean, that's my life. Let's not call it a joke. But I had this thing where no matter where I go, I always try to find like a karaoke bar because I like to sing. And even found one in Tenerife. It was crazy. Yeah. Are you in the north or in the south?
In the north.
That was my first trip to Tenerife. The second was to the south, was warmer, but north was cool as well.
I'm really happy to hear. So now, high five because all with us, we love karaoke. Here, Carmen inside.
Oh my goodness, what did I sign up for?
So now we will have to sing. But also, before we talk about your new path, because I will love to focus on that. And please, people, if you have any question from her, take advantage now because we have an amazing guest and we don't know when we are having again. So if not now, when?
So, I'm staying around on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, though, guys. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
So we put
my DMs are open.
Social media for just in case if they will have more questions. But of course, we wanted to talk about all the Esports Awards. How was the experience? How was it for your team? Because I feel like you have to be really proud of that event. So, and congrats, because I think you deserve it. All your team and all the effort that you did.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it was really exciting. It was also quite scary, I have to admit. I was very happy that I had like two. Hi, Zan.
Hi, Zan.
I was very excited that I had like two good girlfriends there. One of them is Ashley Kang, and one of them is Caroline from 100 Thieves. And we've been sort of like, or they've been like moral supporting me, and we've been like moral supporting each other, because it's odd a little bit, like, when you sort of used to work behind the scenes and then you have like rolled out massive red carpet and like, it's a lot of attention. But I mean, it was a really nice event and everyone was kind. And I think it just, Adidas announcement, like the Creative Piece of the Year award, took us a little by surprise. So obviously it wasn't even a joke that Carlos was in the bathroom. He was factually in the bathroom exactly the moment when we had to go. And I have to admit, because I was nominated in the Esports Creative Person of the Year individually. So I mean, normally I'd never prepare any speeches or anything, but that one was, I don't know, personally for me felt important. So for that, I've written something down. But for none of the other nominations, we agreed with Carlos. We're just gonna go like freestyle, I mean, like G2 style, whatever. We're gonna figure something out. But somehow we were unaware. Well, obviously, how can you be aware that we're gonna be getting that particular one? And I just have people like pushing me on the stage, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I said something, and I have to admit, like, I didn't even rewatch the show because I'm just terrified to see what I said. But people said it was okay, so I'm like, okay, fine. I said something. I tried to be polite. I gave shout out to partners. So I think it was good. I was like that's I think every person, I guess even like the people who are hosting or like always on camera, like there is a moment where you're like, like a little bit nervous.
Oh yeah.
I've been on camera before quite a lot, but it's also so different when you're like, prepared and it's your job. And here is like some sort of like, element of surprise. But it just overall experience was really nice. And I mean, we girls love to put on a nice dress. Like I've never wore a dress like this in my life, So that was like very, very, very cool. So definitely shout out to Esports Awards team. They've done an incredible job. Exciting to see what they do this year because they always have some crazy plans. But yeah, so that's the experience about the team getting an award. I think the award we got was the video production team of the year. I think that was incredibly important for the team because our video team and the content team in general, they work so hard with so much passion and they always go like an extra mile, and there is such a high internal quality standard that honestly, if not us, who else? And that's like, definitely not like it's all of ours award. And like every editor, videographer, video interns who help us out so much, production managers, producers, like even the freelancers or like collaborators that worked with us throughout the year, like that award was to so many people, and it's such a inspiration like to continue working. And yeah, I know that 100 Thieves really wanted that one, so we were really happy.
Oh.
We're really happy for you guys, really.
And you've been talking about what the Esports Awards might bring us in 2022 in the next years, but we want to know what you are going to bring us this year, because you're going now on a partnership with two close friends, you said, but we want
No,
a
I
little
didn't
bit
say that.
something. Oh,
I
what
didn't
did you
say
say?
that. I said with
say?
a couple of trusted partners.
Okay. Trusted
Top class,
partners.
but non-disclosed who or how yet.
Okay.
We understand, we understand.
Mhm.
Okay, but I want to ask, I feel like, what's your objective for this 2022? What's your goal for this year?
So I think this year is a little bit different in terms of like, how we're looking at it. Before I was always very involved in, let's say, video production in general, but also like, managing the teams. Through my process of looking or like being available on the market, I had like incredible opportunity to talk to so many companies and teams and tournament organizers and like have a first-hand experience of like sort of state of the industry. And I think that was probably the main element that inspired me to work in the direction I'm working right now. And I hate to be so cryptic because I'm a very open person and I would love to say everything I think about it, but at the same time, like, it definitely makes much better sense to prepare proper business plan and everything that we're trying to achieve. Because I always said, like, I would never go on and like find my own company if I wouldn't have someone like holding me back or like helping me and doing all like this admin and bureaucratic and paperwork and the right thing so I can do my thing. And I'm lucky enough to figure out that setup and like to have that support. So I don't want to say yet, but I think it's just gonna be definitely building upon my skill set, but also trying to help. Like, I mean, it's not going to be, it's not going to be selling flowers. Obviously, it's going to be within esports. It's going to be, it's going to have to do with content marketing and branding and strategy. And this is what we want to build, but also to create like lasting impact and maybe, I would say, consult. I don't know how to say, like, maybe I don't want to say with more care, but also there is no plan that we're gonna have 50 clients, you know, like it's not gonna be a conveyor option, but we also really want to create this environment where you have, you know, more strong rivalries and more strong brand identities and brands where, you know, you have people rooting for a place, because not just because there's a player that they know, but because there's, like, you know, 5 elements that they sort of resonate with them. So I think building that way is really fun, very interesting, very unique. I think, like, probably the easiest way to compare is maybe, you know, traditional sports clubs, whether in the US or here in Europe, where, you know, they have national or like city-based clubs, and sometimes it goes through across generations, or sometimes they have, like, I don't know, mascot being like the most important thing. So I think it's more about figuring out what could be that unique thing and trying to build it from the ground up. Because I think the challenge right now is that, except for very few, if we're looking at the teams, for example, except for very few, even for those who've been long enough around, if you ask a casual fan or a gamer what they stand for, it's quite difficult to say, because most of them are for performance, competitive success, excellence, that type of thing. But how to split them between themselves? Very often it's like, you know about a team because their social manager is cool, you know, or because of that, but not necessarily because of the brand identity. And this is something that I feel has a lot of room for improvement, and that's probably or definitely is going to be one of the things that we want to work on. But again, like, this is all like building in process, and I just got started, so like, I don't want to say something that's going to be untrue. Like I said, it's very likely I'm not going to be baking cookies, but who knows?
So really excited about this new path that you're going to start. So where they can follow you? If, for example, I know you have Twitter, LinkedIn, if they want to contact you and hire you or for this kind of service, where it would be the best place to contact you?
So most of you already have my address. Yeah, in general, I think most of people have already found me, but I know that people still follow me or continue starting to follow me on LinkedIn. I think to reach out regarding work stuff, LinkedIn is probably one of the best ones. I'm always happy to share my email. Twitter DMs work absolutely fine as well. Also, not just for work, if people have questions, don't ask me how to get into esports, because it's a very individual question. It's going to take me 3 hours to answer. But if there is like a particular question or something I can help with, I'm always happy to answer. And the same handle on Twitter and Instagram is just my last name. I recommend Instagram only if you like story spam and like dog photos and like all the random stuff, which I don't post on Twitter, because Twitter is like, I guess, more like esportsy, and Instagram is more like fun. But yeah, these are my channels, and I don't know, like, you know, I'm one of those people who take it as is, day by day, and I really hope, well, I feel in my heart that this is the right decision. And it's been scary, and it's always like, I chose the most difficult option out of all options I had, and now I have to own it. So I'm gonna try, and I hope I succeed and have something to show for it. And if or when we're starting to recruit, I can let you guys know.
Oh, that's so really excited. So I know that we are almost on time, I think, but it has been really amazing. And now please follow her in Twitter, in Instagram, and all the social media that she has. We later share with you guys. But because she's an amazing professional, and as you see, she has an amazing path in esports, and she knows what she's talking about. And come on, she's amazing. And
Or fake it till you make it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
But
that's a good
it-
advice. That's
Okay,
really
so
useful.
Sorry,
now-
I'm like that type of person. It's just like Lithuanian sense of humor. I don't know, just can't stop myself.
No, I love your humor. Come on, Lithuanian, it's amazing. Yeah, I have a colleague from Lithuania, and she showed me all the parties that you have, the folklore ones, with the dresses and the flowers, and it was really amazing. So it's okay. So guys,
Yasmina,
go to Lithuania.
but Yasmina, you're like one of the person who is the happiest person in the world. Everything is amazing for you. You're probably you're just happy about everything. It's so nice to be with someone so positive.
Thank you. You're not the only person who tell me so. My
That
boyfriend
might be
is
true
the-
then.
No, really happy to hear that, and I hope Carmen enjoyed with me. I hope so.
yeah, I enjoyed a lot, but unfortunately, I have to say that we've run out of time, and we didn't want Amelia to go come after us. We can like, no, you're running out of time. So we have to say goodbye to you, Karina. It's been an immense pleasure to have you here. We hope to have you here again, maybe in, like Yasmina said, a year, maybe 6 months. We'll see. But we're gonna keep an eye on whatever you do, because it'll sure be amazing.
We'll definitely stay in touch. Thank you so much, Carmen, as well. Best of luck working with my region and with all of your other jobs. Thank you so much, Carmen. Yasmina, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. And bye, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Karina.
So, Calvin, we have to say goodbye, and thank you so much for the audience for being here. Hello, son. It has been really nice to have you here. And well, don't. I have to say that we have the entire week with Esports Fitness Live. Don't miss all the colleagues. We have marketing, we have corporate, we have tortier. So you have an Esports Fitness Live for the entire week, and we see each other for the next week. So it has been really nice. Come and see you. Bye.
Bye.